What's going on, YouTube? I'm here, like I promised, back on this live. Just got off a TikTok live not too long ago. Had to clean up my station, get everything ready, but I'm here. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the charts and continue where we left off from there. And I have a whole different chart, like a whole different chart on this one. So as you can see, now the lines are red and we got my blue line. So there's a couple of things that are different. I did draw back in this trend line so we can continue where we left off and potentially looking at the trade. But now I have to draw in the entries that we're looking at and the A plus trade, what it was going to be, and where I was looking at placing the stop loss right here. As a matter of fact, I should widen this out right here. And then to take profits on a potential long trade that we may get into. What's going on, Hornet? Let's go. I love when people get in and comment. Listen, if you're going to get into the live, I would absolutely love it if you comment. You know what I mean? Because commenting is a big part of how I can continue to entertain, talk to you guys. It's like a big conversation. Imagine being in a conversation with somebody and you're the only one talking. I mean, it's cool. I can do that. I talk a lot, and it is what it is. But it's more fun when y'all engage with me. So engage with me, you know what I mean? Say hi, say something. Anyway, y'all. So what were we looking at? So we were just talking about this potential trade. So for those that didn't get a chance to see my live on my TikTok, I'm gonna kind of go through a quick run through. I don't have to go into a deep dive, but essentially we were looking at this this trade, and I initially wanted to take a short. So I did just get out of a short position, and I took this trade over here. And I'm glad I got out because we started to trade back up. What I was looking at, if we go to the daily time frame, things looked a little bit bullish for me. So let me just kind of show you what I'm looking at. You got this. I mean, you see this wick. You see how far price went down, just in this daily candle. And you can kind of see, things kind of looking bullish. Now, if we go over to this 4 hour, we see a pattern forming that's a bullish pattern. So you got the cup and handle pattern. So you got this being the cup and then the handle, and then usually breaks to the upside from there. So again, let me just show you guys that again for my YouTube channel. We got cup, look, bam, cup and handle pattern. This is what this looks like. This is the old high or the resistance level, all that. I mean, you can kind of get the gist of it. You got the cup, you got the handle, and then you got the breakout. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it's normally a bullish pattern. That doesn't mean it's going to be bullish. Of course, we got to wait for the price action. I like to wait for things to close. I like to wait for the confirmations, and that's what we're going to do. But I want to potentially trade this. I think this might be good. Now, we still are in a bear market, so I'm not looking to hold any long positions for a long period of time. So I'm going to be in and out, and I'm going to show you my targets in just a minute. If you guys are just getting here to the live, do me a favor, like the video, like the live stream, so we can get more people. I would love to actually get more subscribers and viewers, from the YouTube base as well, instead of just everybody coming from the TikTok. I mean, I just think it'll be nice. So I need to get that love and support in order for YouTube to start to make me a recommended channel. And I do need to break that 1,000 subscriber wall that I've been kind of stuck in. So once I break that, I think things are going to be, going to make the biggest difference. We're going to see the change actually come in. So anyway, so back to the charts. This is where we are with it. So this is a pattern that I'm looking at, and then it does seem to line up. So now you can kind of see, even if you look at just the candlestick patterns itself, look what's going on. So price came down, then you got the kind of that handle forming, and then you got a big momentum. So the trend actually, it broke out of this trend line. Price came back down, went back up, and actually broke back into the trend line, it looks like, and now looks to be being supported there. Now, I talked about the potential of getting into a trade from here and why I think that might not be the wisest idea, because I like to wait for a confirmation, and that confirmation would look something like this for me. Break out, come back down, do a little retest, and this would be my entry before breaking above. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, then I would get into a long position upon the retest. I might even if we had like a big wick, I mean, you can possibly do that. Maybe I'll get in some of the trade there. I don't know. I don't know quite yet, but if we have a big wick above, maybe I'll get into like a small percentage of the trade there, and then a retest will allow me to add more, just in case we just run up and hit the target already off the top. I'll at least be able to make some profits. But the A plus trade will look like this. I recommended a YouTube video. Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate, yeah, YouTube. Oh, I thought you said I recommended it. What'd you say? Oh, what's this? What's IQ? Let me see what that is. Let's look it up. Since you're the only one here right now, the only one commenting, I don't mind pausing in the middle of what I'm looking at to see what you're talking about. VidIQ. What is that? Let me see what this is. Oh, okay. What is this? Is this real though? Or I don't want to buy any viewers. That's what I don't want to do. I want to make sure it's all natural. I don't care if it takes a long time, but okay. I'll check this out for real. I do need help building. You know what? I need to work on something that I'm sure about. I don't have any descriptions and all that, so I need to figure out a strategy for that. Remember, I'm new to the YouTube scene still, and I'm like, I haven't even breached a certain amount of watch hours, but I'm gonna check this out. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm gonna check this out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. See, this is why I love this. I love this. That was very helpful. Very, very, very helpful. I'm going to definitely check that out. As soon as I'm done with this live video, I'm going to check that out. Appreciate you, Hornet. You always drop some good stuff, and you always are commenting. You're like always here. I appreciate you. You're very, very, very appreciated. Okay, so let's continue where we are. Just for people that's going to watch this as a recap, I do want to not stray too far off the charts. So this is what I'm currently looking at. Continuation of this trend, possibly catch it, get in right here, and then get out right here. And as you can see, the risk to reward ratio on that. If you wanted to get in on an earlier trade, so let me go ahead and delete this. I gotta learn from the. I appreciate that. Let me see. Boom. Okay, so now, we're gonna. Oh no, we're gonna do a long position, right? Long, yep. And now let's say the person that entered in right here. Stop loss would be right around here, just below the most recent swing low, and take profits up here. And all right, here you have it. Okay, so here's that B trade. Here's someone will be in it already. So if they were going to get into this trade, this is the B trade. They'll be in it already, with this being the stop loss down here, and they're waiting for that. They'll gain more. They can gain more profits. But look how wide their risk is, and a lot can happen without confirmations. How do you set your fib scale? Okay, so on Fibonacci's, I keep it very, very, very simple. I don't use them often until we get into a highly trending market. And to me, I don't think we're in a highly trending. I mean, I guess you can say we are in the bear trend, but I guess I mostly use it when we're going up and when there's a lot of liquidity. But I'm very, very simple with it. So it's hard to see right here because the market's going sideways, and even right here, if you look at it, there's no true trend. So to me, where would you even want to use it? But if I go into like maybe the 30 minute, and you see we can track all the movements in this uptrend that was going on. Maybe not even that. Let's go higher. Let's go 5 minute. I mean, that's probably a bit much, but you can kind of get whatever you want to see. So in the 5 minute, you see that this is trending upward. So let's say we moved up, and I want to look at the Fibonacci. And so I'll go here from the bottom to wherever the top is. So let's say this was the top right at the moment. And then you'll see where the retracement is, and this is the golden zone. So I look at that. First off, let me change these settings because this is too colorful. I would like it to be, yes, I like my fibs to be just straightforward. I don't do the extended fibs. I make everything straightforward, easy to read. I mean, I'm not trying to decorate here. And then I get rid of the background. How do I do that? No background. And then put the values on that side. Okay, perfect. All right. This is how I would do it. Hold on. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Probably put this one back. Point. Okay, let me see. 382, 618. Yeah, we got the 1, 2.618. We don't even really. Yeah, no, I will leave it because that's like the mid ground to me. So this is kind of my settings, just so you can see it. Angry, do you have mods? Not yet. Not on my YouTube, but in my on my TikTok, yes, and on my um, Discord, yes. But I am looking to get more moderators. I also like the video. People appreciate you. Let me see. I know the basics. If you or what's a fib? Oh yeah. So this is the Fibonacci. This is a lot of people use this to kind of determine, you know, where the market's going to go in the trending market. So in this, so if we snap it to the bottom, the most recent swing low and the most recent swing high, you can get an idea of where the retracement's going to be. And you can kind of see clearly. I mean, the golden zone is really between right here. There's 0.618. And some people say in between this whole area right here, there's 0.618 and 382. But I would say between right here, the 0.5 and the 0.618. So if you kind of extend this out from the point of that highest point right there, this is where the price retraced before continuing the trend. So that's the whole point. You want to track where the price is going to go before we continue. So people would see this. Let's say this is running up and they think it's going to continue upwards and we're in the trending market and they're following the trend. You pull out the Fibonacci and look what happens. It retraced. Look where it retraced. And now it's going up. So I use it very simple. Some people have like crazy strategies and all that. Again, I am really a keep it simple kind of guy. And I like it that way. So these are my settings. If you guys want to look at it again, I'll show it on the screen. If you want to set up a fib for yourself, I don't really do all the extendeds, but this is kind of what I look at. Some people have more on because they have other strategies that involve, the extended periods of, the retracements and all that, but not me. And so when you want to go in a bullish trend, you start from the bottom to the top, and you can catch it like that, and then you do vice versa for the other way around. But anyway, let's continue. I don't really use fib all that much. It's not really part of my daily strategy, but it is something I can use to help me if I want to follow it. Okay, let's go. Let me see. Let's go back to a higher time frame. Let's see. Let's look at the 1 hour. Look at this. We got these two lines over here, and this is the breakdown. So this was the trade on that short. Look at this, because usually when a trend breaks, you short it, and this is what I was talking about. Trend broke. And now trend broke again, but now wait for the price action. Sometimes you don't get the retest. Trend broke and there was no retest. I mean, maybe a little bit of a retest, but trend broke out. So that's why I said you can trade the momentum if you want to. Some people will just jump straight in. I mean, there was an opportunity when it went way down here and bounced back up, and you saw this candle close right here, almost forming a hammer. Almost. It's not really a hammer when you zoom into it, but you can kind of see. You saw the direction of that, but I like to wait for the confirmation. What brokers can you short on? So I use Fimix. There's PrimeXBT. There's Bybit. But I mean, I'm mostly on Fimix, and then I think you can do it on KuCoin if you want to use like a standard, well-known exchange. And there's just tons of them, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that I've actually used. I've used KuCoin. KuCoin is a little bit hard to understand for people if you're just getting into it. It's a little bit different. Bybit is very similar to this, but I don't know if I don't think they have US access. I tried to sign up for it before and I had that issue. And then PrimeXBT, for some reason, they won't let me make an account there anymore, or something happened. I don't know what happened to my account on there, but I used to trade it a lot, but I don't like their charts and indicators anyway. So I think Fimix is awesome because they're using TradingView charts. So a lot of the stuff and tools that I already use and the way the charts lay out, I'm used to already. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, you could be a mod. I'm with that. So you want to be a mod in the Discord, or you just want to be a mod on the YouTube? Because I know you're always here. So I love it. I definitely don't mind that. Definitely don't mind that at all. Let me see. Let me see. This is the breakout I'm waiting on. So I want to show this to my YouTube as well. Hedera trading down. Okay, so look, this is what we're going to do. And this might be boring for some people, but this is something that I think is important. I know I talk a lot about Hedera and everything. And right now, I would normally be watching this video that I started to watch in the gym about Hedera and what they're doing to further the adoption of crypto and everything. And I think it's a very informative video. It might even make people, like it. So I'm gonna watch it on my live because I get to watch it and you'll see my true reaction to it. And two, I feel like it's informational for people that are interested in what I'm invested in. YouTube, can I clip some shorts too? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm gonna message you after I get off live, Hornet, and we're gonna figure everything out. But so this is gonna be, if for people that don't want to see this part, I understand if you don't want to be around. I don't care if I'm sitting here by myself. I think this is I was getting some really, really good information and I want to share it. Let me find that video. Okay, Hedera. I'm from the Hedera channel. This right here, decentralized recovery and custody. This is crazy. I was watching this and listening to this while I'm working out.
Hi, Dropship.
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna make sure it's the right one. Yeah, this is the right video. Hold on, gotta make sure I like this. Subscribe to it on this YouTube for sure.
First, it's time to focus on what you do best. So go to Wix.com.
Welcome to Gossip About Gossip, powered by Hedera Hashgraph. In each episode, we'll cut through the hype of blockchain promises and explore real-world examples of organizations creating the next generation of decentralized applications, which will bring trust back to the internet for us all.
Okay, DM me, bro. Yeah. I'll look at it. I'll look at the DM in a minute.
And welcome to a very special episode of Gossip About Gossip, the podcast where we talk about real-world applications for distributed ledger technology. My name is Zenobia Godschalk, and I'm the SVP of Communications here at Swirls Labs, helping to grow the Hedera ecosystem. Today, as we round out the year and come to the end of season 3 of the podcast, we have a very special guest on. Today, Dr. Leemon Baird is going to talk to us about DREC,
This guy's
Decentralized Recovery and Custody, and why it is the private key to mass adoption of crypto, of DLT, and why it's so important. For those of you who have been with us on this journey, both through season 3 as well as through the other seasons of the podcast, thank you so much. We so appreciate our longtime supporters. We appreciate all the H-Barbarians in the community, and we appreciate all of our guests who have come on and who have made this season so vibrant and so exciting and have really brought some of those great use cases to life. So we will be wrapping up for the season. We're going to take a break for the rest of December, and we will catch you back in January. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Leemon Baird.
Hi.
No, not in
I'd like
gold.
to talk with you about something that our
It's been heavy
industry
in
desperately
crypto.
needs: decentralized recovery. This is something that we are going to put extreme amount of time into. We're already working hard on this. We want to work with other ledgers, people outside the industry. This is something that is a huge project that we desperately need throughout the industry. And this is something I want to talk to you about today. So decentralized recovery and custody, this is the problem. Today, in the non-Web3 world, in our existing world, you have a safety net for everything that you do. Everything has a safety net. If you lose the password to get into your bank account, you can still get your money. You can go to the bank and prove that you are you. You can ultimately go to the courts and get them to tell the bank that you are you. There is always a way of doing it. If you're incapacitated, your friends and family can go to the courts and petition to actually do it for you. It is always possible to get to your money. Just losing your password won't lose it. Losing your wallet won't lock you out. If you lose the keys to your house, You can get a locksmith to come and let you into your house. You can get through the window with a brick. You can always get into your house somehow. And it's true for a safe that you have, or for stocks that you own, or your car, or your passport. Anything you lose, there is always some emergency way that you can get it back. But in the decentralized world that we're entering, that's not true. If you have cryptocurrency in an account and you have the private key for that account, if you lose the key, you are out of luck. Your money is gone forever. Or if you have a recovery mnemonic phrase, 12 words or 24 words, if you lose those and you lose the key, there is no way to recover.
I just realized my mic was muted. I was saying I wanted to pause it because this is a big reason why true adoption hasn't set in yet. I mean, by design, crypto is made to be, like to truly have it decentralized, you have to be in charge of your own keys and all that. But people, that's not what the masses want. That's not what the masses are ready for. They don't want to be in charge of the money. Otherwise, banks wouldn't be as powerful as they are today. The average person just wants to put their money somewhere that they feel that they can trust and move forward like that. But true decentralization, you know what I mean, is like going to be able, like, you got to have some sort of safety net. You got to have some sort of way to protect yourself, which is what they're talking about in here. And if they can figure out this, see, it's not just the technology side, which a lot of these projects have been figuring out, speed, transactions, and things like that. But it's also the ease of use. That's where the mass adoption sets in. And there was one way that people were talking about it was going to be solved, and that was like, well, you just have companies or whatever that kind of integrated into existing solutions. But the downside to that is that eliminates the whole decentralized part of it. You know what I mean? And the decentralized part is important for this to actually take place, because that's the next big step of true ownership. I mean, otherwise, there's a saying that I've been hearing on people have it on their intros and on their YouTube videos. You will own nothing and be happy, but that's not what everybody wants. I mean, maybe that might be the masses thing, and there's always this push to kind of separate decentralization, you know what I mean, from and keeping things centralized. The businesses and corporations and governments wants the centralization. You know what I mean? So their idea would be to try to fight something like this unless they can find a way to make it work for them as well. But I just think I love this video already because they're hitting some key points. And I think this is something that no one else is talking about as a big potential, hold up with true adoption. So let's get back into it. I don't want to keep talking.
And if someone steals it from you and they steal your money, there is no way for you to get it back. You cannot even know who stole it, and you'll never be able to find it. Even if you know what account it went to, there's no way for you to get it back. This is not a world with a safety net. And it isn't just for cryptocurrency. It can also be tokens that you might have. It can be assets in a metaverse that are stored in tokens in the future. It could be your ability to vote in a DAO. That's not money, it's not tokens, it's power or ability to do something. It can be things like coins. It can be online ID credentials, DIDs, decentralized identifiers. Anything that is a credential for you that could become your identity in the online world, giving you the ability to do everything and to own everything, could be lost. And we do not have safety nets. You cannot go to the court and say, I forgot it. I've had emails from people who have said, oh, Lehman, we had a whole bunch of HBARs in an account and we lost our key. Would you mind generating another 24 words for us and sending us those 24 words since we lost ours? No, I can't. I physically can't. It's the whole point of decentralization is that no one can do that. I cannot get your money back for you by design. This is the whole point of Web3. So we don't have an FDIC insuring things. A lot of people wish we did right now. We don't have safety nets for if you lose your keys. And everything is based on knowing a secret. Having a key or a mnemonic, everything is protected that way. And if you lose it, you're out of luck. If someone steals it, you're out of luck. There is no recourse. So what can we do? Well, honestly, for Web3, for ledgers, for blockchains, to go global, for everyone in society to use it, it has to be something that your grandmother can use without training, a non-technical person, very easily. It has to have convenience. It has to be at least as easy as the bank, maybe easier. And you need to not have intermediaries who can steal everything. You really don't want that. We don't want to say that the answer to the problems of decentralization is to become centralized. That is not the right answer to the problems of decentralization. The answer is safety nets. So what is a safety net in this case? Well, people have talked about custody. You just give everything to someone you trust. That's better than nothing. I've actually recommended this to people, even though I don't like it, because the one person you gave it to could steal everything and could lose everything. And maybe one employee in that company might be able to get everything. It's just not ideal. And, you know, I have recommended this to people because in some ways it's better than nothing. It also raises the question again, well, how do you get to your stuff in the custody? Do you have a password? What if you lose your password? What if someone steals your password? Can they get the stuff out of your custody by pretending to be you? How strongly does your custody service KYC you and re-authenticate you every time you try to get stuff? A lot of the same problems we have with accounts are just carried over to custody. And even if you have to go in person every time you make a withdrawal, are they really checking you carefully? A lot of questions. So that's problems with custody. People have also had other alternatives like social recovery. The idea is that you have an account, but you have multiple keys on your account. And then it takes multiple helpers to agree. If they all have different keys in your account, they all have to agree for you to pull anything out of your account. Now, there's problems with this, with social recovery like this. You have privacy problems because the whole world can see the keys in the account. And so they may be able to know who your helpers are. They know who to go to attack. They know who to go bribe. You don't want that. You want privacy. They'll know how many helpers you have. Also, the helpers might fail. Your helpers might, you know, eventually one by one lose your key. Maybe they really don't care about it. And you won't know, and they won't know. Maybe they forgot they were helping you. You won't actually know until you really need it. And then you go to them and say, okay, help me. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, I lost your key a few years ago. I hadn't noticed. Sorry about that. You're out of luck. And then it's also very inconvenient to add new helpers and remove helpers. You have to change keys. Social recovery like that is really not the best way of doing things. What you really want is DREC, decentralized recovery. And here is the idea. You have your secret. Maybe it's an account with just one key on it, or maybe it's a DID. It's actually information, or it's private keys for something else, or it's passwords for websites. Maybe you're using something like 1Password with a whole bunch of passwords. Your secret is a list of passwords. Whatever your secret is, any secret, what you do is you get helpers like we had before, but it's not that they each have a key on your account. That would be bad. Instead, you take that secret and you break it into pieces and give each of your helpers a piece. Shamir secret sharing, very easy, very straightforward, very secure. You can say that it takes half of your helpers to recover it. So if even one less than half of your helpers isn't helping, or if you have just less than half your helpers helping, then you will not be able to recover the key. It takes a full half of your helpers to do it. And again, I say a half, I would encourage us to build that into the software. Don't even give the user the choice of what the fraction is, because again, we don't want grandma to accidentally get into trouble here. So we'll just say you can get as many helpers as you can. Maybe until you have 3 or 4 helpers, the software will yell at you. 3 is probably good. The software will yell at you and say, hey, you need more helpers. And then when you have enough helpers, your key, your secret is shared among all of them in pieces. None of them can see your secret. And then any half of them can recover it. That's decentralized recovery. Okay, so what happens if you lose your key? You just have to, or you lose your phone, say. You go get a new phone, you install the app, and then you go to each of those helpers and you say, hey, I want you to be my helper. And just like you had connected with them in the first place, you connect with them again. But when you reinstalled the app, you told it, hey, I'm in recovery mode. I've done this, I've been here before. Please help me recover. And so when your phone connects to each of your helpers, it knows that it's recovering. And as soon as you talk to half of the helpers, if you had 10 helpers, as soon as you talk to the 5th one, your phone magically has all of its secrets back. It even has the list of helpers back. Remember, we were keeping that private. The helpers don't know who each other are. So it's not really stored anywhere, except it is itself one of your secrets. So as soon as you can remember 5 of your 10 helpers, you will instantly have the list of all 10. and you'll have all your secrets. Everything is recovered. You are fine. This is DREC. Even that is maybe obvious. If you know what Shamir secret sharing is, you might have thought of that. It's not enough. It's really not enough. So what we need to do is, in addition, in this picture, each helper is getting a quarter of your secret share because there's 4 of them. If you had 5 people, each one would get a fifth. When you add or subtract a helper, you need to give all the other helpers new shares. So when I go from 4 helpers to 5 helpers, I go to every helper and I say, okay, you used to have 1/4 of my secret. Now you get 1/5 of my secret. And you give them the new share and they throw away the old share. And this should all be invisible and automatic behind the scenes. The act of adding 1 new helper should just automatically make my phone talk to their phones, and we just all redo our shares. And my helpers don't even know that's going on. It's just silently happening. So that needs to happen. We need to be able to add and subtract helpers in a very smooth, automatic, invisible way. So for grandma, all she knows is that she has to go connect with a bunch of people. That's it. That's all she has to know. Also, very important, this is maybe out of this entire talk, the one thing that I would say is the biggest takeaway to remember for DREC is that you want them verifying daily. My phone should be calling up your phone or talking to it, sending it messages in the background, which, iOS can do, Android can do, and say, hey, do you still have that share I gave you? Maybe even do a challenge response to prove that they have the share. There's ways of doing that. And so then what you have is every day, my phone is making sure that all my helpers still have the shares. If you don't do that, I guarantee you're going to have a helper who upgrades their phone every year and doesn't think to bring along your secrets, and they've lost your shares. Or they just lose their phone and they have to buy a new one, and they've lost your shares, and they're not even going to remember about you. They're not going to tell you. And one by one, you're going to lose all the keys until more than half of them are gone, and then you're out of luck. That's what's going to happen if you don't verify. If you're verifying, though, every night, your phone's talking to their phones. It verifies that you have the secrets, that they have your shares of your secret. And if there is one that is down, it will try again tomorrow. And if it's still down, it'll try again the next day. If it's still down, it'll tell the user, hey, you thought Alice was one of your helpers, but for the last 3 days, I haven't been able to get a hold of Alice. You might want to go talk to Alice. Maybe Alice lost her phone, and you should go offer to become her helper again, and you'll actually be helping her to recover. Maybe she forgot you were one of her helpers. You should go tell her. That's nice, because it's symmetric. If I'm your helper, you're my helper. You'll be able to go in and disable actually sending shares to the person, but it's secret. They don't know that. As far as people can tell, everybody is symmetric. And so you can help out Alice if your phone discovers she's no longer helping. And then after a week, say, if you've ignored it, then your phone says, well, I used to have 10 helpers, but one of them is gone. I'm now going to change my set of helpers to just be the remaining 9. I'm going to give everybody a 1/9 share. You'll now have to have half of 9 to recover, and we'll just ignore that 10th one. And so it silently, automatically reshuffles things so that you're back to a full set. So now all 9 are your helpers. And if one of them loses their phone, eventually it'll go down to 8, and then it only takes 4 people to recover rather than 5. So it'll automatically take care of you. And if you get down to too few helpers, it'll start giving you warnings. Hey, we don't have very many helpers. We need to go get more helpers. This is critically important. There is no way that Web3 is going to change the world if all of your life is tied up in secrets that can easily be lost. This is the way to make them not be easily lost. Of course, we can then recover our lost secrets. If somebody loses it, we can get it back. In the way that I said, you just go find helpers one by one, adding them. And as soon as you've added half of your original helpers, you magically see the list of all the rest, and you're set. Oh, and it actually connects to them. You don't have to do anything. It just connects to them automatically. You're set. You can also do decentralized custody. It's exactly what I just said, except you could say that I don't have my secret. You could have a secret that your helpers all have shares of it, but you yourself don't even have the secret. And when it comes time to say it's a key to let you do a transaction on a network, maybe pull tokens out of an account, You can't even do it. If somebody captures your phone, they cannot do it with what's on your phone. You don't have the keys. No one can coerce you into doing it because you can't do it. The only way to pull your money out of the cold storage is for you to go to all your helpers and say, here's the transaction I need signed. I am really me. You convince them you're really you. And then they push a button on their phone and they each do a piece of the signature. You aggregate them and you get your signature back. There are ways of doing that as well, cryptographically. And so then no one ever knows your secret. You don't know your secret, and your helpers just have shares of your secret. And can we go from 10 shares of a secret to 9 shares of the same secret without recovering the secret? Yes, we can. We're actually implementing that on Hedera as well. But we're going to put this in our free library and release it to the world, and this will be part of DREC. This is so important. So DREC is not just decentralized recovery, it's also decentralized custody. This is what the world needs. And it is so important, you could start having businesses like Helper as a Service. Why shouldn't your local bank? They offer safe deposit boxes, which maybe one employee could get into. I don't know. But this they could do. They could be a helper. And then one employee couldn't get into it because they're not all your helpers. They're just one of your helpers. And so every time you go to the bank, you prove that you are you, and then they help you do whatever it is you want to do. So you could have banks as helpers. You could have attorneys as helpers. You could have companies that are currently doing custody that say, hey, we'll do normal custody. We'll also do DREC custody. And we will also do Helper as a Service. For a small fee, we will become your helper, and we will only help you when you convince us that you are really you, and we'll get to know you well enough that you can convince us you are really you. We want to make this where you have to be in person to recover and in person to connect to someone, although possibly we could allow you to recover without being in person. But I really like saying you have to be in person. We want to be very, very safe. So decentralized recovery, I think the world is going to go to decentralized custody as part of DREC. This is what the world needs. We absolutely need this. For our hot wallets, we need to have decentralized recovery. And for our cold wallets, we need to have decentralized custody. This idea of just storing your 24-word mnemonic in a bank vault is better than nothing, but we can do a lot better than that. So we need to write protocols, and we are talking about, and we are in the process, we actually written part of this, of writing these as actual internet protocols, RFCs for IETF. These are real protocols. We're going to end up joining with other people in other organizations, other ledgers, other blockchains. We want to join together to create some internet protocols. Why? Because when you add a new helper, and when you recover your lost secret, that is a way that you are talking to their phone. Your phone's talking to their phone. It should be a standard so that different people can write programs that all interoperate. We want every wallet, every game, eventually every operating system to be able to play as one of your helpers. And they should be different. You use one wallet, you use one operating system, you use one game, and they all have this built in. And so they all can be my helpers. They all interoperate. So we need a protocol for how you become someone's helper and how you recover the lost secrets when you become their helper. We also need a protocol for distributing those secret shares and redistributing them. When you add a person or remove a person, we need to redo all the shares for everybody. This is important. We also need to be able to do that daily check that the helpers still exist. Critically important. We have to have that. And I really am hoping this will someday be built into every operating system. We've got to make standards. So actual RFC standards that we're working on. And if you want to join us, work with us. We really want everyone to be involved in this. And then we can jointly sign transactions. That's the decentralized custody, which I think is also critical. For the things you don't use every day, but you want to keep extra safe, like the bigger amount of your money, you decentralize custody and you actually have your helpers helping you anytime you want to withdraw from it. And then you have the smaller amount of your money that you keep as decentralized recovery, where you can just spend it anytime you want. But if you lose your phone, your helpers can help you. These are the protocols, the 4 protocols that are needed. So in summary, what is DREC? It's a way to save any secret. It can be keys. I keep talking about keys on an account on a ledger, but it could also be passwords. So your password manager, 1Password or Apple does password managers or Chrome does password managers. They should be able to play in this game. They should be able to do DREC to protect your password list so that no one steals it and uses it and you don't lose it, which would be very inconvenient. It could also be used to protect DIDs, decentralized identity. things that are keeping track of your identity. This is a new thing in the Web3 world, and I believe that it's going to take over everything. Even in the United States, driver's licenses are starting to become electronic, and passports, hopefully someday. We will have driver's license and passports just be something in your phone. I really want that. But ultimately, I want to make sure I don't lose it and that no one steals it. And so DREC is what we might use for that. And then any other secret, just take notes to yourself and keep those as secrets. We want it to work with any ledger, any blockchain, but not just that, any software. When you have VR, metaverse worlds, where people are playing a game and they're buying assets or getting assets, they're NFTs, oh, there's actually a key involved. And you really don't want someone to steal your account. You want to protect it. You can use a password that's not very secure, especially as these things get valuable. You should be using DREC. So even games should have it built in. Metaverse should have it built in. It should be invisible. It should be automatic. All it should be is that when you first start, it nags you every couple of days saying, you know, you need some helpers. Why don't you go get some helpers? And this needs to be widespread so everybody has software that they could become your helper. You just pick people you trust, or maybe your banker and your lawyer, or maybe just your friends, whatever. You know, people in your bridge club. Whoever your friends are, you could get them to be helpers. We are going to build, we are building, and we will release open source libraries to do all of this. A demo app, we've gone through several versions of it now. We're going to keep working on it. I'll record videos to show you at some point a demo app that shows how all this works. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, those protocol standards I talked about. This is DREC. I'm excited about it. We are putting real money into it and don't plan to make any money at all off of it. The whole point here is that it is something that our industry desperately needs. And we want to work with everyone from every ledger and even from outside the blockchain industry to make this happen. Well, thank you. And I will look forward to talking to you again.
Long video, but that was so informative. I mean, this right here is one of the reasons why Hedera is my biggest holding. And even though, you know, some people, you know, stuff like this may not matter, but they're laying a foundation that no one's really laying. They're talking about things that people aren't talking about, but they're not just talking about it, they're working on it. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I tell people I do my research on HBAR, and then, you know, they hear me talking about it, they look at HBAR and they look at the price action, and I'm like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This right now, it matters for you to look at the huge discount you're getting, you know, dollar cost average your way in. But when some of these things go live and projects or whatever start to launch on this and you know, this chain starts being used the way it's supposed to be, or this network rather, it's going to be a big deal. And it's not going to make a small move. It's going to make a pretty big move, and it's going to sustain. It's going to hold that move. And this would prove to be one of the better investments. And people are going to realize it when it's too late. And when I say too late, I'm talking way high up. And it's kind of mind-blowing. I'm not even going to lie to you. It is mind-blowing that it's so cheap right now. And, you know, the sad reality is people don't see cheap as opportunity. They see it as either scam or not a way to make them a quick buck. I have a feeling that this is investing in this, and the way I'm moving in it is not only going to be, you know, decent amount of money when it starts to go up, but it's going to be something that's going to be generational, and that's why it's my biggest holding. I'm very, very stoked for this. I mean, watching that video it just made me feel so good. It's another confirmation that I'm in the right spot. Yeah, we should do that, but already be more advanced. I mean, yeah, I'm into that. I'm into that idea, by the way, the whole VR. I mean, I'm into VR too. So I used to actually have my own little VR company, and I had bought a whole bunch of VRs, and you know, we just play around and had a little group. It was fun stuff, but I never really took it, you know, far. But it would be nice to make some sort of virtual trading group, and you have big charts all over the place, and you know, we sit around and wait for trades, chill, hang out. I mean, it'll be cool. I would like to get into that. It's something I would explore. Definitely into that. Are there any brokers but you can? Oh, why does it come up like that for me? I don't know why my chat is coming up weird. Okay, here we are. excuse me. Are there any brokers which you can drop in EU you recommend? Oh, and our. Oh, okay, got it. Are there any brokers which you can drop in our you recommend? So, I mean, as far as from what I do, as far as on the trading side, I go hard on Femex. I keep telling everybody about this, and that's because I think their fees are great, and I love the charting. I love everything, and I've been using Femex for a while, and I haven't had any issues with withdrawing, and the liquidity is good. So for trading, this is one. For investing, Coinbase, obviously, you can use Coinbase. But look, when I invest, I take my money off the exchanges. I want to be completely clear about that. So like if I did pull up my Coinbase here, you would see that I don't want to really pull up my stuff here. I don't know what's visible, but you'll be able to see that I don't hold anything in Coinbase. Better yet, I could do this. That's how I can do it. I can go boom. I can go Coinbase. I got $4 in my Coinbase. But then if you look at one of my latest transfers, let's say, I don't know, you'll see, like I'm dollar cost averaging in $1,000 worth of H bar, $1,000 worth of H bar, dollar cost averaging in, and then I immediately send it out. So when the buy happens, I'm immediately sending it out. That's my actual history. And, that's, so I don't leave anything on exchanges, but you can get HBAR on Coinbase. You can get it on crypto.com. You can get it on BitTrue, KuCoin. But with the way things are going, some of these exchanges, it's just not smart to leave your money on some of them because it can get pretty dangerous. As you can see what happened with FTX and some of the, other things that's happening with Celsius. And I just don't like to leave my projects floating around in any projects and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, for trading, go to Femex and check it out. See if it's available where you are and see if it works out for you. I mean, I love it. I'm gonna continue to trade on it unless I see otherwise. And I don't really leave a lot of capital on any of these accounts. Will you be looking at gold? Probably not. I mean, let me see. It's amazing plan. I don't doubt that it's an amazing plan, and I think gold is always going to be something that people are going to be investing in. It's never going to be, in my opinion, left completely in the dust. But I'm so focused on the shift. I think crypto right now has scared so many people and shaken out so many people. It went into a situation where it went into the public's eyes where you can ask the average person. They only think crypto is Bitcoin, but they still know about it, and then they know to be scared of it, which in my opinion is prime time to really invest and seize the market, because at some point people are going to be investing in crypto and not even knowing it. And sure, you can look at the things that's people do know about, like investing in gold. Everybody knows what gold is, and I think it'll always be around, but it's not going to make the biggest difference. I think having your money in gold is just a good place to hold your money instead of just the banks, because it can grow over time, and holding your money in the banks. And as the dollar is diminishing in value, you actually end up losing money in the long run instead of holding an asset like gold or silver or something. So it's a good store of value. Gold is a good store of value, but I don't think it's a good method to create or build wealth. Now, if you're already wealthy and you hold it in gold, I feel like it's better than holding it in dollars and in your bank account. Yes. But that's why I'm not looking at gold. I'm not necessarily trading. I'm not trading that asset like that. I haven't even been following its price point. I couldn't tell you where gold is right now to date. And it's okay. I don't feel bad about it. But let me see what you're saying. Put a bit of cash in gold because the US dollar, gonna go massive downfall for sure. For sure. I mean, I do think that the US dollar is going to continue to fall. And I definitely agree with you. I think crypto provides, majority of my assets are in crypto. Majority, even with it being down. And I feel like to be able to say that is actually not a bad thing, because investing in the market while it's in the bear market is better. But it is risky. It is far more risky. I mean, this is an asset class that is super, super risky. So I don't want to advise anybody to do that. It's a risk that I'm willing to take, just based off the knowledge. And I feel like I'm invested in the right things. And if I wanted to store my money in something like gold, I would probably just store it in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, in my opinion, is like the digital version of that. It is like Bitcoin is the hedge against the US dollar, and a great store of value in the crypto space. I mean, it does make up 40% of the market cap, over 40%. So that's just my take on it, though. It's just my take. Nothing against gold, and I know people that's invested in it, and you know, I do think holding cash is not exactly the smartest thing, because I think the US dollar is going to plummet. So anyway, y'all, I'm still scouting this out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably make myself some food, head to the store, get me a salad or something, and probably come back on live a little bit later. If I do happen to get into a trade, I will post it in my Discord, y'all. But I'm probably gonna end this live here, but I will be back on live later today. I'm gonna try to go there on my TikTok first, and then move on over here. Unless the trade just takes place, then I'll try to catch it for you guys and give y'all an update. Appreciate y'all for being here. Definitely wanted to tap in, but let me kind of get my day going. It's about to be afternoon over here, and I want to seize the moment to have me a decent lunch. So I'll see y'all. Thank you so much, Hornet. And then I'm gonna DM you when I get off this. So thanks for being here. And I'm out of here. Get off this live and go invest in something.